Hello, hello, and welcome to TJ Speaks. I am your host, TJ, and I have a sudden show for you today. Today's show is called Volunteering the Black Citizens' Money because this stuff is getting really serious. What's going on in Chicago, what's happening in New York City. Um, this is very disheartening because a lot of people work in these cities, and to see their tax paying dollars, to see all of the hard work that they put into their city go down a literal garbage can. It's going down the trash can because our mayors, Democrat mayors, and Democrat governors are volunteering our money to finance a federal program. And I can't say that enough. And so let's jump right into it. Okay, first things first, I want to discuss the fact that there is no such thing as a state asylum program. There is no such thing as an immigration program on a state and local city level. So this whole thing, that Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is trying to sell is not honest, is not truthful, and is downright wrong. Brandon Johnson and the Democrat Party is in bed, and Mayor Johnson, he's trying to get some clout in the Democrat Party, and that's clear because recent comments of Mayor Brandon Johnson was to the effect that he didn't care about the voters. He said to the media when they were asked um, whether or not, what's going to happen, what's going to be the consequences for him, you know, from the voters. And Mayor Brandon dismissed the reporter and pretended that he didn't care about the voters' vote. Well, part of that is true, but what he does care about is the power. He does care about the power and the influence in the Democrat Party, because anyone who is not blind can see that Mayor Brandon has aspirations higher than the city of Chicago within the Democrat Party. And let me explain this. Okay. Joe Biden is the president of the United States. We all know. Joe Biden is in charge of the executive branch, who's in charge of immigration, and it's his party's wish to have a bunch of illegal immigrants into the United States illegally and under the disguise of asylum application. But here's the thing: asylum applications, asylum allotment from Congress, is only allotted about 46,000 to 50,000 slots per year, and that is divided among all the countries around the world, the asylum applicants that we get every year in the United States. So this whole hustle of allowing 10 million illegal immigrants, people that entered illegally. Number one, you're not supposed to get any application for asylum when you enter the United States illegally. That's number one. Number two, there is no 10 million spots or ten million slots for asylum seekers in America. There is none. This is a falsehood. This is what do you call that? A wolf in a sheep's clothing. These people will never ever get asylum because we don't have 10 million asylum slots, and we cannot. Asylum is not based on what country you come from. It's based on individual circumstances. So this notion that 500,000 Venezuelans can get asylum, that's a lie. And that's a fraud that the President Biden and many of the Democrat Party is imposing on the people. So back to Chicago. Okay. Now Chicago is volunteering the Chicago citizens' money. Okay, because there is no law on any level that mandates a state or local city to finance a federal program. There is no law that mandates this. And there is no state asylum program in Chicago. So, this whole hustle of the illegal immigrants break into the country, then they file some phony application for asylum, and then all of a sudden they are granted all of this funds and financing. No, that's not true. Because if it was true that they had some type of funding, their funding will come from the federal government. Because the federal government is where they submitted their application. States and local cities have nothing to do and no control of the federal asylum program. State Chicago cannot regulate the federal asylum program. That is why Chicago is not required to pay for the asylum seekers, because it's a federal program that the city of Chicago does not control. Only Joe Biden and Congress controls the asylum program, and Congress only has 50,000 slots that's already been filled. Immigrants from around the world already submitted their applications legally and waited for years to get that spot. So these Johnny come lately illegal immigrants, they're not getting it. They're not superseding the people that has already been applying for that program and can prove their case and did not break any laws in the United States to fill out an application. So this whole notion that the city of Chicago citizens and New York City citizens have to finance a federal asylum program is wrong and is defrauding the public. But then again, Mayor Adams and Mayor Brandon believe they are the smartest cookies in the jar. See, when you think you're so damn smart, and all they need is that one right lawsuit, that one lawsuit, because they have nothing in their city constitution that mandates paying for a federal immigration program. Because if we can pay for that, if the city has to pay for a federal immigration program, then they have to pay for the ICE. They have to pay to help ICE detain people. But that is not the job of the local city or state. Immigration is not their job. But what they're doing, these mayors, black mayors by black mayors are volunteering their citizens' money, because Joe Biden doesn't have to reimburse New York City or Chicago for the money they volunteered to house these migrants. They have no say in whether these migrants' applications are approved or disapproved. They have nothing to do with the federal asylum program. So if the federal government decided not to uh, approve their application, guess what? New York City, you're out of billions. Chicago, you're out of billions of dollars. Gone. The money's gone. and you're being robbed by the illegal immigrants, and their accomplices is your mayors. Your mayors, your governors are working together to defraud the citizens. These people, what? Think about it. How many people fill out an application? First thing you do is you need the application to be approved. You don't get no benefits from just filing an application. Your application must be filed and submitted and approved. But only in the world of illegal immigrants where they can benefit and receive money just for filing an application. They don't even need an approval. Is anybody else looking at this? Are you guys seeing this? They are the only ones on this earth that has ever received benefits from simply putting in an application. Never mind approval. Approval's not necessary, regardless of approval. These people are getting some superior type of benefits, and it's because it has a political motive behind it. That's the reason the Democrats decided they don't like the way their citizens look. They don't like the way their citizens sound. They don't like their citizens, so they decided to replace the citizens. And that's where we are at in America. We are at a crossroads. Who is controlling this country? Is it the politicians or is it the citizens of the United States? Because the politicians have decided among their ranks that the rest of us are too stupid and too ugly to care for. They simply don't like this way their citizens look and sound and where their citizens come from. So they figured, well, I don't got to work for these people, even though we're the ones paying the bills. Okay. So simply filing the application versus application approval. That's what we're up against. Illegal immigrants are getting away with milking billions and billions of dollars from local city governments, even though they filed an application with the federal government. Somehow or another, dun, 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 the city of New York is coming to save the motherfucking day. I tell you, you can't make this stuff up. So that's where I leave you. New York City, Chicago, any other sanctuary city, you're being robbed. Your mayors and your governors are volunteering your money. President Biden does not have to reimburse for the money that's being volunteered because the federal program is run by the federal government and the state program is run by the state. And none of these cities have no asylum program. So they are just volunteering your money, your safety nets, your human resources. They're volunteering that away to a bunch of people that don't even like this country enough to respect its laws. Because when you like a country, you will respect the laws. It's that simple. It doesn't matter where you come from. The rules still apply. When you like a place, you follow the rules and you follow the law because you want to be a part of that place. But that's not what we're getting. We're getting self entitled, disrespectful, nasty, begging people. That's what we're getting. We're getting hustlers, con men, con women, people that's getting down with our political enemies, which is the Democrat Party, to rob us. These people, these illegal immigrants are very political. And therefore, they really, according to the Constitution, are supposed to be deported without exception. They are too political. They're in the bed with the Democrat Party. And the Democrat Party is supposed to work for the citizens of these United States. So I'll leave you there with that. TJ Speaks. I'm out. Have a great night.